Neri Oxman once famously quoted, "I don't segregate art, architecture, and design." I'm Architect Karan Anand introducing you to Season 4, Episode 5 of Moñö Architecture, All Things Design. Brought to you by brand partners Highback, Kitchen Studio, Turquoise, and Embellish. Today we have with us two such designers, Aahana Miller of ABM and Agavi Vora of AVDS, who follow these very ideals, and I can't wait to share my conversation with them with you. Hi guys, it's lovely to have you all here.
Hi Karan, thank you for having us. I'm Agavi from Agavi Vora Design Studio. I'm the principal designer and founder.
Hi Karan, thanks for having me as well. I'm Aahana Miller from ABM and I work with my father Alfaz Miller in architecture and interior design practice.
So before we kind of talk about your practice and about what you all are doing in your current lives, right? I want to talk to you about your education. Anna, you studied at Penn, you studied at Rhodes. These are institutes that are basically transforming what design thinking is, right? Agvi, you studied at Rachna Sansad, which is one of the most popular colleges in our city and in the country as well, right? So, could you walk us through what your educative experiences were before you all became designers?
So, I knew I wanted to study in the US. I went to boarding school. Then after that, it didn't make sense to stay back in India. And when I was like trying to figure out what I wanted to do, architecture was not the first thing on my plate, and my father was very disappointed. And I said, "Mom, maybe I want to do art." She said, "No, don't do art for sure. Do anything else." So, but I said I want to go to an art school and then explore and see how it goes. So at least in the US, you have a foundation year. You can kind of figure out how you want to go about it.
Yeah.
So without really knowing what I wanted to do, I was leaning towards interior architecture and also graphic design. So with RISD had very strong, both of these programs were very strong. So when I went to RISD, then I finally chose interior architecture. Again, my father was like, "Why not architecture?"
Yeah.
You know, but I prefer interior design
Yeah.
anyways. That's how I started off. School being an art school, the way that they approach design is very different. Like it's not like pure architecture.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very creative, very hands-on. You have to make models, work with your hands, sketching. It's not very computer-based initially. Then you grow into that.
It's very explorative, so you understand what you kind of want to do as well.
Yeah. And then I finally, after working, I said, okay, now maybe I'm ready to do architecture. So I applied for my master's, and luckily I got into Penn. Penn is very digital focused, like fabrication and the parametrics. It's like another spectrum. So I think I got a good balance of both. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
For me, I don't come from any design background with my family at all. Everybody's into business. And since I was little, I was always very picky about everything. Like I would notice all the details on everything, whether even if it would just be like trousers, I would not like the stitch and not like the button and be very picky about all of this. I was always inclined towards art, craft, all of that, and I enjoyed drawing a lot. And when my house was being done, I kind of got inspired by the whole process. I was, of course, very young. But I thought this was it for me, that it is a mix of both, where it's technical design, where it's not business, because I just did not want to go back to any sort of business being from the family. So I decided to do interiors, and I went to Rachna Sansad. My entire experience was great because it was very practical in terms of being ready for a site or for a job that would demand or challenge you in a lot of ways. We did have professors who were super hard on us. We would spend every Friday staying up, but we had a lot of visiting faculty. If we were very concept driven, they would constantly ask us questions. How are you going to build this? How are you going to manage this? How is it going to come up practically? So that really built my foundation, and the challenges really built my foundation for my first job as well, in terms of being ready for the whole grind. So that was what my education was like, where it was design materials, a lot of practical visits, a lot of on building on site. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Anna, you spoke about studying in Penn and Road, right? And you spoke about how it was very hands-on. Could you tell us about how your assessments were, how your juries were, how your faculties would interact with you? Because I want to compare it with Agavi's education in India, because there's a lot of comparison that is there. There are a lot of pros and cons. So I'd like for you to speak about that, especially for younger viewers who want to go internationally and study, and for the ones who are studying here as well.
So I think actually it's pretty much the same. The juries are as critical anywhere. Like, I think it's the same here. So I mean, you're in the US, you're there in that school because you got in because you're talented. So you know what to expect. You've been told like this is how it's going to be, and it's just something you go in knowing. So
And
it's part of the process.
Do you feel like that kind of what they put you through made you like stronger as a designer or a practicing architect or whatever designer in today's day and age?
Oh, absolutely. I think all the rejections help you so much today that you're like, bring it on and let's see what happens, and I'm okay because you have like gone through the grind.
No, you also learn how to critique.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that you learn how to see it from their perspective and what they are trying to say. So it's learning wise, it's great.
It's quite interesting actually, especially when they keep saying why, right? Like I remember making structures, and then you would be like, the structure's fine, but where's the sun path? Where's the side curtains? You know, and I would be like, do this college.
Oh no, they don't ask you that. In the US, it's not that. It's like more conceptual, and they're not looking at the practical. They're not looking at how can they stand. They are asking you conceptual questions.
Hypothetical.
Why, as in like, why did
why
you
have you
design
made
it
this line
way?
or why have you like,
what's your concept? So maybe that's where it differs.
Yeah, was it different for you here? Was it more?
No, there was a bit of this in design class always, because they kept questioning us that whatever your concept is, why is that your concept, or how did you derive to this whole thought process? And every line that you're drawing on your drawing or your concept, why have you made it? Like, it's gone down to literally that why is this line not straight, or why is it like this, or
the negative spaces, or
all of that.
Why is there a water body here? Because we would just like put water bodies
Yeah.
and trees there were negative spaces.
So Karan had called me a couple of times. So I was with Samit Padora's wife Ritu,
Oh, lovely.
and she had studied in the US also. So both of us were very in sync in our critique. Like, we both had the same things, and I feel like those were fundamental things that I had like learned in my like first year or something like that. That was not, translating. So I don't know what it is, but I felt that little difference from coming from the US and not seeing those things.
Also because their practice is very different from this way of constructing and
very
interiors.
different,
Everything is like miles apart. We do everything in RCC and concrete, and it's
correct.
much,
It's totally different.
Anyway, so guys, once you all finished your education and you started working, so I don't want to kind of interpret how you all did it. You worked for 8 years before you started your own practice. You worked with a couple of practices before incorporating yourself into your parent practice. So could you all walk us through this journey a little bit?
Sure. So after I finished design school, I went and worked with Nozawadia. I've been working since I was 20. And that for me was postgrad, because it taught me so much in every way. And also, about source practice, it's very dynamic. He also challenges you a lot. Also made us all cry, whoever was at NWA. And I felt like I saw so many different things. And if you keep your ears and eyes open, and if you're curious enough, you do learn a lot on the job. And all of those things are helping me a lot today, where I don't feel like I'm lost. Of course, there are things that you question all the time, but I feel like I already have opinions about things because I've heard and seen so much. If I was probably younger and just started out immediately, because I don't have a background with design coming from my family, so that is what really helps me today, because I feel like my foundation is much stronger, wherein I've seen classmates who started out immediately and then they were lost after a few years and were not being able to figure out how to go about things, or different projects or different clients or different sites or different challenges. So for me, that was really, really, really good as
It
an
was
experience.
like a master's for you.
For sure.
Like a long.
And I did contemplate for very long if I want to do another degree or not. While I really enjoyed working, I didn't want to take a long break because I always knew I want to be back in India and I didn't want to move anywhere else. So that made me sort of shortlist, and I did a lot of analysis and I spoke to a lot of alumni from those particular colleges that had like 1-year courses. But I think I was probably already 5 years into working, and then I felt like, maybe is this for me, or have I like gone past this whole stage that I don't need to go back to it because I already am learning so much. So that
I actually
was,
relate a lot to that because
yeah.
I would be like, I'll do it the next
Yeah,
year, I'll do
yeah,
it the next
exactly.
year. And then when your practice starts picking up,
Yeah.
then you're just like, if I go now,
Yeah.
then will I have work when I
Yeah,
come back? You
yeah.
know, there's so many, and then I just never ended up
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
So there is a mixed bag of emotions with that.
Yeah. No, I've thought so much about it. I've
Yeah.
actually gone to the colleges, met students who were studying, and I asked them, what are you doing right now? Maybe because I was already working, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this right now or if it's making sense for me right now.
So when I finished, I was I did my internship with Shimul Kadri, but I was very young, so I didn't know anything. It was my first year of interiors, and she said, "No, I'm an architect, so there's limited work for me." So I didn't know what I was doing. And then after I graduated, I worked for Binda Sumaya. So like two very strong architects.
Yeah,
I
very
didn't want to work
powerful
with my
practice.
dad straight, you know. And so let me see
Yeah.
other practices. Then after a year with Binda Sumaya, then I joined my dad. But I knew I was going for masters, so it was kind of it wasn't.
It was transitional.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. And then when I was in the US, we had to do internships in the summer. It was part of our curriculum. So I worked for a conservation firm in New York, and then I worked the second year for an architecture firm in Philadelphia. So I think all these different firms, the way they were structured, the way they were, different styles of working, I think that's what I picked up out of
The
everything.
experiences
Yeah.
must be incredible.
Yeah.
And then when you came back here, was there a dramatic difference in like what you had practiced there in those studios and here? Was it easy for you to?
No, it wasn't easy at all.
It
I mean,
wasn't.
people think like, you already have a practice, you can come and just join.
Yeah.
But then there were certain things of ways of working and things that I wanted to
Yeah.
improve. My dad was fine. He said,
Yeah.
do whatever you want, make it better. He's very happy. He's like,
That's
okay,
good.
you set up all this. Like, we have quite grateful for that. But it's very difficult. Like, and people are like, this is India. This is how it is. I said, I don't accept this, that you're telling me this is India, with the
Chalega,
contractors.
that
and all.
attitude,
Yeah. All this jugaad system, all this, that was little difficult to transition into.
Yeah. And you set up your practice after 8 years,
Yes.
right? So tell me about that. Like, what made you want to start your own practice? And was it a leap of faith, or was there like?
Well, it was a mix of both, because I really enjoyed my time at So's office, and there were new things every day, and he would challenge you all the time. There were new details all the time. There were new materials all the time. The projects were different all the time. So I really, really had a great time doing that. So every year I would be like, okay, next year let me either, firstly, the 2 years out of the 8 went into whether I should study or not. So I just kept staying at the job and I was figuring out whether this makes sense for me at this point in time or not. Then I concluded that it doesn't, and I'm okay. And once I realized that, I was like, what's next? And I think let's just do it. I can't over plan it, and let's just go with it because I do have the experience. So I also had a lot of support from So, wherein he said, go for it, and I'm here, and if you need any help, he's been my mentor. So that really, really helps.
That's a nice.
Yeah.
That's important, right? It's very, very important. Also, you all both run your practices in very different ways.
Yeah.
You introduced BIM into your practice. You introduced fabrication and all of these things. So, and you have a very grounds up rooted practice, right? So, could you all both talk to me about how you run your operations and your practice, and how you all built it more, because I'm sure you just didn't walk in and you're like, okay, let's do this, guys. It doesn't work that way, especially here. So could you like navigate me through that process?
So because I studied in the US and I worked there also briefly, everything is in BIM. So if you don't know BIM, you can't practice there also. So since from RISD, like it was introduced in my final year. It was just starting to become popular. And then when I worked with Brinda Somaya, also the project I worked on was in Revit. She said, "Oh, you know Revit? You work on this project." And then I introduced it to my dad. But a lot of people in India, because educationally are not learning Revit, it's either SketchUp or it's AutoCAD. So I just feel there's a disconnect. So when I came back finally after masters and everything, I took classes myself. Like I taught the teams. Last year we had a professional come in and do like weekly classes. But I feel people are not really able to pick it up because you have to completely change your mindset.
I love Revit.
I know, I love it too. I love it
software.
too. I know, but so I don't want to force anybody. Though I've given them enough skills that they are familiar with the software. So I have 2 people, interior designers now, who do Revit for interiors, and I have 1 architectural guy. So with them, I'm able to manage, and all the projects that I work on for the airports, and most of them, they are asking us to work in Revit. So that's an advantage for my clients.
Do tell me about how you run your practice as well.
So mine is more of an interior practice. It's a lot of residential high-end homes that we do, very detail oriented. So for me, at this point, AutoCAD is majorly what we use, because also I'm very, very trained in working with everything 2D. So for me, when I see renders, sometimes I'm just irritated that this is not okay, this is not okay. I actually get a little scared sometimes when the renders are coming to me, because then the proportions have sometimes, not been properly done, and then we're just constantly correcting that. But in CAD, it's like done. All my 2Ds, orthographics, everything is perfect, and then I feel like, okay, yes, this can go for execution, and this is how we can. So I'm very used to visualizing everything in 2D. Yes, we do 3D renders all the time for clients, but if left to me, I don't even need to do a 3D. I'm okay to do a 2D drawing and execute.
That's 8 years of experience. Okay, guys, so now we're gonna take a break and play a game. And I'm gonna give you a word. Okay, and in 10 seconds, within 10 seconds, you have to give me 5 words that mean something similar or related to it.
Okay.
Right? If you don't manage to get all 5 words, you have to have not a very tasty shot, but you can. Okay, and the winner gets a hamper from our brands. So your word is deconstructivism.
Oh my God.
Can I go for it?
No, but I'm going for it. Architecture, design, drawing, section.
Done.
Construction.
Done. It is done. You can have half a shot. We'll give you half a point. Okay, your turn.
Okay.
Vernacular.
Materials, rural, quota, cow dung,
Oh yeah.
architecture.
Architecture for everything. Now remember next
You have to
time.
have a shot. Okay. Modular.
Furniture, IKEA, design, chair, table.
Done. Nice. Facade.
Building, glass, elevation, architecture, drawing.
She said architecture for everything.
Those are the fillers.
Okay, done. Mumbai.
Skyline, Kalagoda, city, traffic, suburbs.
Nice. Okay. Organic.
Fabric, sustainability, design, cotton. I said fabric.
Done.
Cow down.
Okay.
Cow down.
Cow down. So Anna's leading right now. Okay. Void.
Space, hole, empty, cavity, architecture.
Nice. This is architecture to be banned now, guys. Neither of you all can say
Taboo words.
architecture.
Yeah.
Okay. Studio.
Design, computers, drawing, AutoCAD, practice.
Done. Postmodern.
Buildings, museums, India, Corbusier.
Done.
Oh shit.
CAD.
Drawings, elevation, Excel, I'm just saying commands, issue drawings. Okay.
She panicked, she got it, she got to like
I
four.
was like 4. I was just like, am I done with 5 or not? That's why I got
listen, you
confused.
lost. Sorry. Yeah, so Aahana, you
fine.
won.
Yes.
Okay, so unfortunately you lost, Agavi. Well done, Aahana. I'm just making you feel worse.
I know.
So anyway, coming back to our conversation, you told me about how you started your practices and how you began working. I want to know about the nuances and the difficulties of running large scale practices, because starting a practice is one thing, sustaining it is a completely different ball game, and succeeding at sustaining it, being a good practice. And both of y'all are, incredible practices. You come from a legacy of a practice that you have taken forward further, making it even better, and you started a fresh practice which is extremely popular right now and doing really good work. So could you walk us through a little bit of that?
So if I were to say challenges, initially hiring was a big challenge. Second thing is also having a strong opinion sometimes, because that only comes with practice sometimes, is what I've realized, that in my first year versus now, I do have opinions even more strongly about certain things, because the clients are always asking you why this and why not that, and then they are sort of trusting you with it. So you also need to know all of it and try all of it to come to that conclusion. That was a bit of a struggle that way, hiring, and also drawing boundaries. I felt like initially I had no boundaries, and then I started drawing boundaries, and it's really helping me now to have that balance with creativity.
I would never have started my own practice. I would have never done architecture if I didn't have something to fall back on.
Yeah.
And because I knew that this was there. But it's also, again, difficult to step into something that's established for like 50 years. It's been 50 years when I joined. So so you have come in and you have all these ideas, and then you have to make, people have to be accepting to it.
Correct.
But I think in some way they all knew that I was coming back and that I would be there, and they were happy because they're like, okay, this practice is going to move forward. Like, we don't have to start looking for other jobs, like things like that. And then they all accepted me, and few who didn't are not there anymore, which is fine. They've started their own practice, and then COVID hit in the middle. So it's not easy just taking over something that's established. So the biggest challenge was to get these new things in. So my firm, they didn't have CAD standards. They didn't have a folder system. Things were just sort of dumped on the server.
It was a desktop with everything.
Yeah, so you had to literally have to start from zero and then build it up. And my dad is there, though he's been very open to my changes. He said, do it however you want. But then at the same time, he had to learn also to work with me, because all this time it's been him solo making decisions. He's like, okay, now I have somebody that I need to like discuss these things with. I can't take these decisions by myself. So for him also it was a little difficult, but I think we both sort of found our way. So slowly now I'm starting to do my own projects. Initially it was like both of us working together.
I have been practicing for 10 years now, but it's like it never gets easier. I just feel like as you grow, you feel the earlier problems become easier, but the new problems arise. I think with our fraternity and industry, I don't think it ever gets better, because it's a people problem, right? It's not you're dealing with human beings. Human beings are going to be problematic. I just feel like if you're earning better, it's a little bit easier to deal with those problems. But also tell me about how like say if you were to take a project, right? Say a new project, how would you begin and how would you end this process?
So I meet the client first. I understand. We have a set of probably 40 questions that we ask them to understand what their lifestyle is, what their vision is. Also from that, we sort of derive what the whole language of the project is going to be. I'm also inspired by the environment, what is around the project. Let's say if it's in an Art Deco building or a colonial building or versus a modern building, we sort of try to keep that flowing into the interiors, so it's sort of tied in the larger scheme of things. And then also understand what they are driven towards or what inspires them. It's not just about, I also always ask them, what do you want your house to feel like? Don't just tell me what you want to sort of envision, or that, oh, I want a veneer panel here, or I want wooden flooring. Not just that, what do you want it to feel like, the emotion that you are looking for in your space. So that sort of drives the whole narrative of the project. So I have done homes in an art deco building following the whole architecture into interiors. I've done a colonial home versus I've done a super modern home. I've done an eclectic home. It all is sort of inspired by the client story as well. It's a more collaborative process, which also I learned over time, because initially I was like, no, you have to do what I'm saying because I'm the designer, I'm going to call the shots. But then I also realized over time that anyone who's building a home has a lot of hopes and dreams, and eventually a lot of people sort of earn to make a home, and that's their dream home. So then I sort of started understanding that, working more and more with clients, that it is a lot of emotional value for them as well. So yes, come and tell me what you want it to be like, and we'll work on it following our design principles. Yes, certain things I put my foot down saying this is not happening or this is not going to work, and yes, this is how it'll look. But yes, it becomes an entirely collaborative process, and they sort of tend to enjoy that as well. So none of our houses will look exactly the same ever, because we are always developing new door frame details or new skirting details or new sort of tied in as a home is what my process
You're
is.
focusing on the macros as well, right? Which
Yes,
is very, very
lots.
important.
And I think in the larger scheme of things, I always make sure that the house is looking like one. Not that every door you open, it's a different style and a different story. So I just tell them that let's sort of keep it very cohesive.
Yeah, like your
All
work
in
has
all.
cohesiveness, but it's got variation.
Yeah.
So you have that one singular
Yes.
style that you're following, but you make sure that each project looks different, and it's building well. Your practice is building really well.
Thank you.
Like I can see it doing really well.
Thank
Not that I'm like a say in this matter, but just as
No,
an
but it's-
observer, I feel like it's a very, very pretty practice. Like you'll do really well.
Thank you.
You already are actually.
Thank you. I'll strive to do a lot more.
But I recently did an office project where the client was treating it like a residential project. So it was not fun.
Yeah.
And everything was option.
All the
And so
art.
we actually, you know this. So we actually have a process which we follow, where we have very clear stages and sign-offs. And if there are any changes, then extra fees for that. So I'm very clear about how I
You
manage
operate,
that.
yeah.
It's very structured. My dad, on the other hand, is like, very, the fee will come when it comes, don't worry,
Yeah.
I'll get you the fee. Like, he talks like that. And he gets it eventually, but I'm not built that way.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't get it. So I have to do what I have to do to sort of make sure that it's, we're following those stages, and the client also understands that this is how the process will be. In the long run, it's better for them also, The project doesn't get delayed, and then you don't have so many changes in the middle, and
And they don't take you for granted as well.
that
Yeah.
And
also.
actually, the older practices, like for example, even your father, right? He's built his legacy, and he has a certain clientele who respect the fact that inevitably we have to pay him. But it doesn't work that way for like
With
younger
anyone
practices,
young.
because for them you are a designer and it ends there. So if they're unhappy, they just say that I won't pay you.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
I think a major
Yeah.
problem that can come in.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about art, since you're sitting here.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about what your interpretation of art is right now in our country in regards to, say, interiors or architecture, and whether we are going down the right path or whether it's a little pretentious. What do you feel it is right now?
Since the India Art Fair and a lot of this, we have art galleries on Thursday, like we have
Yeah.
art galleries open. I think it's really good because people are being exposed to different kinds of
Yeah.
arts, and pretentious or not, I mean, it just depends on person to person, client to client. But a lot of them are now paying attention and being like, we want to curate our work. It's not like we just want to put anything up on the wall. So that's become more part of the design process than it was before. And there's so many spaces where you can go and see and buy,
Yeah.
and we don't impose anything on them. You like something or you have an art collection, we will integrate that into your space already. So that office that I designed, that she wanted it to have a lot of art, so we did a whole curation for her. And if you know where to look for art, you'll find it. Budget wise, I do have to say things have become crazy expensive.
Yeah, they have.
So you have to find if you have to find reasonable art also, it's good to like get in touch with a curator or somebody who understands, you know, that, and that is their job specifically. So that's my
amazing.
advice. Yeah.
Actually, when I was speaking to Pinakin, he told me the same thing. He said that when he was buying art initially, he did not know whether the artist would kind of appreciate, whether he said we would just buy it because we like the person.
Correct,
And
yeah.
he's like, you have to do it like that even today. If you kind of try to look for artists who are up and coming and who are being recognized, and you're going to end up paying a bomb for it. I mean, it's also like touch and go, right? You never know what's, and it's very, very complex.
Yeah.
I feel like it's lovely because it's coming back now, like you
Yes.
said. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot more accessibility to it. Like 3-4 years back, because I had no connections to it, it was impossible for me to like say take a client to buy a piece of art.
Yeah.
It was very difficult for like somebody who's not exposed to that or does not know where to go. You know, for me it was a Jahangir Art Gallery. And if I went to Jahangir Art Gallery,
No, you're not going to find
Others,
anything.
no.
yeah, I'm not going to buy artwork
Yeah.
for like 5 crores and be like, yeah, you can put this on
That's
your
a
2 BHK
project
block.
budget.
Yeah.
Probably that would just go
Yeah.
into.
And your practice, Agavi, when I look at it, it looks like you're incorporating a lot of art movements or derivatives from, say, European art into it, right? And Indian art. So how do you work along those lines?
So I learn a lot from whenever I travel. I try to make it a little more educational, so I make sure I'm seeing, I at least Google all the popular buildings
Yeah.
and make a list and mark it on my maps, and I'm making sure that
Yeah.
whenever I'm going around wherever. So I have read a lot of books in college, at work. Noza also had this massive library. It's beautiful. So gone around learning about all of these art movements or even different sorts of architecture and sort of getting it into in a very nuanced manner, not very literally. So we just did an apartment where the client was happy, like you said, are inclined towards younger artists. Everybody's opening up to it. We did have an art curator on board and we worked around a certain budget, but they wanted it to sort of really speak to them. And I also encourage my clients who don't know much about art sometimes, if they're young or not got anything to do with art, I tell them just look at the artwork and see if it moves you in any way or if you can relate to it, and then we can sort of incorporate it into the project. And this particular project, we had a consultant and we told them that these are the emotions that they're looking for. We also had an artist come on board who created these, who works with paper, and we gave him an entire document of what the client's lifestyle is like, or what they envision, or what their daily practice is like, or what their beliefs are, or their fond memories. And they prepared an entire document. We gave it to the artist and he created these little boxes with paper cutouts in
Oh,
them.
nice.
And all of them like show you these memories of like in a very abstract manner, but really fun, like the Eiffel Tower is tilted on a rock, or you know, a whole mix of those kind of things. And we've installed it in their house. We also like got this, so if they don't really understand serious art, so to say, if I may say, we get pieces that are interactive or just strike up a conversation where you go close to it and then you feel like, oh, what is this? And you go further away. Or I had a client who straight up told me, I do not want to invest in art. And I was like, what are we going to do? We need something. And I don't like to just panel the walls for the sake of it. I like the walls to breathe, and I always encourage everybody get art instead, or invest in art. That'll grow with you. Then we got this furniture piece, which was like a swing from one of the artists who makes it. And that became a conversational piece. So that's how we try to incorporate art in some or the other manner.
And I think it makes or breaks a space.
Yeah,
And people don't realize it actually. When you said my client said it, I think it's a very, very common.
Yeah.
Then you have to do the Etsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but after a certain point it gets a little frustrating.
But in fact, this has happened with me the other way around also, wherein we have put certain artwork or just a certain size and they've liked it and appreciated it when the space is completed, and they've have been like happy
Yeah,
to
so we do those trials also. Like we'll put it, you see if you like
see
it,
if you
if
like
you don't,
it, just
then
see the whole space come together, because sometimes when you're looking at things individually, especially clients, they probably don't visualize the entire space. They're just looking at that and I have to keep reminding them, see it in totality or see it with everything.
And I get this with two things, rugs
Oh yeah.
and bedding. But anyway, before we go to our rapid fire, I want to ask you one more question. Since you studied abroad, what was your exposure to, say, art and architectural movements there? Because you must have seen a lot, right?
I studied in art school, so
Yeah.
my entire background is art
Yeah.
history, and that's so
Yeah.
exposure-wise crazy. And I was not too far from New York and Washington,
Yeah.
and everything East Coast-wise was like enough exposure.
Okay, so now we're going to play a rapid fire where I'm going to ask you all 5 questions each, one by one, and you all have to give me answers. And our audiences are going to decide. Guys, come here. You all have to decide who the better answers are.
Oh.
Okay, and the winner gets a hamper. Okay, so this is redemption time for you.
Okay.
If a young designer asked you today, should I work under someone or just start my own practice? What would your response be truly?
Truly, definitely work under someone at least for a few years and then start on your own for sure.
If you could time travel and give your 20-year-old self one design book or art exhibition to absorb during those early days, what would it be and why?
Maybe 30-second architecture.
Nice.
And it would make my mind more open-ended if I were to see it back then.
Do you see value in delayed gratification in the creative world? And any art movement or piece that made you believe in long-form training?
To answer your first question, yes, for sure, because I think I have also seen so much similar for you probably that I feel like that instant gratification is not, it's probably not going to take you or not keep you as grounded, which I think as designers we really need to really need to be.
And any art movement or piece that made you believe in long-form training and design growth?
Art movement would be probably Bauhaus.
Nice. What's something most people don't know about you that you wish more people in the design world understood?
I think I'm not so much of an extrovert. I have a lot more to give, but I don't speak so much. So I wish I could bring it out more, probably.
Okay. Modernism or postmodernism?
Modernism.
Okay, we're done. Thank you for those lovely answers. Okay. Aahana, now it's your turn. Has your idea of success changed since you first started designing, and what matters more to you now?
It's definitely changed because I thought like joining a practice that was already established, success would be instant, but no, you always have to prove yourself. So I don't think there'll be any point where I'm like, I'm now successful. I think it's going to be a growth. I don't think I'll ever feel at any point that now I've made it.
I think that also establishes why you all are doing so well. That's amazing. Imagine you're designing for your 80-year-old self. What's the one thing you know that version of you would want?
For my 80-year-old self, I think less clutter. Right now, it's just so much stuff that I want to be like. I would love to be a minimalist. So when I'm 80, I should have like less things, and yeah.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
It just gets worse. It gets worse.
Oh no.
What's the most underrated design element people don't realize they interact with every single day?
I think basic things on the street. Sometimes this is very small, but I was noticing the bus stops, the design has changed, and it's so much better right now. And I don't think people realize the BST bus stop. They have charging points. They have a little, and somebody thought about that and designed that. I don't think common people would actually notice that. This is one thing I noticed.
It's actually quite cool. It's integrated. If you were to describe the future of architectural detailing in 5 words, no buzzwords allowed, what would you say?
Oh my god, it's 5 words again.
Yeah.
This is basically
and no
redemption
architecture
for her.
because he's already said architecture.
The future of architecture, detailing.
Yeah.
Fine lines, timelessness, a continuation, minimalist, and colorful.
That's crazy. She's killing this. Okay, last question. Okay. You're stuck in a creative rut and you can't look at Pinterest, books, or past projects. What's your most unexpected go-to for a creative reset?
Probably an art gallery or a museum or something. There's so much in Bombay that you don't would not tap into, but that would definitely be it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Who has won? This is a very difficult one.
Yeah.
Who's won? Come on. You all see, now they are going to decide. So don't look at me.
It's all fine.
So Agavi has won.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
well done. Agavi.
Good.
Won
Yeah.
this game. Okay, guys. So before we end this lovely conversation, I'd like for you to address our audiences and just give them a piece of advice or one line on anything that you feel like they would like to learn from you.
I would say it's never too late to start. So start any time that you think you're ready. Definitely learn under someone for a bit and then start your practice. It's a lot more advantage. And stay curious whether you are a student or practicing or working, any of that. That really goes a long way.
Thank you. That was lovely.
Yeah. I would say that, don't get into architecture not really knowing what it is. A lot of the time that happens with students, like it seems like a very attractive profession, but it's really tough, very stressful, very people oriented. So if you're not ready for that, don't get into it. And I would say, again, if you want to start your own practice, please, again, one of the things you should talk to other professionals, take their inputs in, have a mentor also. Mentor helps a lot in going a long way. So some of these things to keep in mind before getting into it.
Lovely. Thank you for watching Season 4, Episode 5 of Moñö Architecture, All Things Designed. Brought to you by brand partners Embellish Kitchen Studio, Highbeck and Turquoise. See you. He has done something in our country.
Oh.
Corbusier.
Press the buzzer.
Corbusier.
Yes.
Not many have done much in our country.
Yeah.
Okay, then I have to have the
Yeah.
shot. Okay. Oh my god. Coffee.